We need to welcome back Scotty, someone who's very important to us. We've had some unbelievable additions actually in the last month. None more important than this man, and given your relationship with him and how close you're going to be working together, I'll leave the introductions to you.
Yeah, thanks JB. Thanks everyone for coming. It's a really exciting time for our football club, and as has been well documented throughout the off-season, we've had some great additions, and Nick Del Santo signing on as a free agent as well. Our playing stocks, while still youthful, we've strengthened that up with a bit of experience in Nick, but I think it's the strengthening of our off-field team which is potentially more exciting. We and I made a commitment to the players back in 2009 when I was appointed that we'd provide the players with the very best opportunity for success, and that we'd surround them with the best possible people. And I think it's a great coup for this football club that we've secured who we think is the best football administrator in the game in Geoff Walsh to come back and head up our football department. So I think we'll open up the floor to questions. I'm sure you've got some for Geoff and JB, Steve and I, but...
Well, just before you do, it's great to have Mazda back on board. Incredible stability in that area for our footy club, which is great. And Walshy, no more loved administrator we've had at our club than Geoff Walsh, and it was tough watching him do such a good job somewhere else. So it's great to have him back. But as you say, Scotty, not only that, Lee Tudor's unbelievable, Gavin Brown, John Donoghue, Cameron Ling to do some work with the leadership group. And then the core of players who have re-signed this year, Scotty Thompson, Lindsay Thomas, Ben Cunnington, Aaron Black, Todd Goldstein. I'm going to leave out about 10. So the club is as well placed or better placed than at any time since my involvement, and we couldn't be happier going into what's going to be a really arduous off-season and then hopefully a really good campaign in 2014. So not only back on board with Mazda, but also with some administrators that are going to, as Brad said, make our club even better.
James, might kick off with the financial side of things. So many good announcements this off-season with this sponsorship. How's the club placed financially at the moment? Is it as strong as it's been since you've been on board?
Yep, no doubt about that. I mean, the revenue we took over, and I say we because it was a lot of people. It's not nothing sort of individual about the North Melbourne Footy Club. So it was a lot of people who sort of took over the club in 2007, and at that point we were sitting at about $23 million revenue. We now sit just under $33 million revenue, so there's been a market increase there. Again, last year broke the club membership record at 35,000 members. Carl Delena, who's our managing director, will announce shortly after the auditors have done their job a significant profit for last year, and when you consider that a great number of AFL footy clubs this year won't make a black number, let alone the one that we're going to post, that's something we're really proud of. Debt's down, it's in the 2 millions now. We inherited it at 8. So yeah, I mean, all the indicators from attendance to TV viewership to merchandise sales to membership, as I said, are right up. So that is a great credit to the people who run our business. I mean, we as directors sit above and hopefully oversee strategy and governance and policy, but the people that achieve these things are the employees. So from Carl and his management team right the way through all our staff, they do an amazing job and we're very proud of them.
Where does that mean your footy department spend is going to be able to rank next season? Is it going to be
Well, we don't know yet because we don't know what other people are spending, but it's significantly up again on 2007. I mean, when we inherited the club then, Dean Laidley was really coaching with one arm tied behind his back. we had 2 assistant coaches full-time at that stage and 1 was part-time. So, we needed to address very quickly a horrible discrepancy in footy department spending. We have done that. We've got it now to a point where we think we give Brad and now Walshy everything they need. Don't worry, they're not always happy. There's still requests that come through regularly, but that's the nature of the beast. You've got to keep evolving and growing, but we're really well placed now, so we're really pleased.
And James, a vindication of how well the Kangaroos brand's going. You've been given more Friday night games than in recent times in the fixture today. We'll get Brad's take on that too, but your view first of all is to the Kangaroos are back on Friday nights.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are 5, and our sort of insular view of that is so there should be, because we think we play the most exciting footy in the comp. I mean, all right, there were some close games that didn't go our way last year, but there wasn't one person who drove away from the ground disappointed with what they'd seen. We hit the scoreboard, we play, I think, a style of footy that all footy people love watching, so we think there's great reason why there are 5 Friday night games. I know Mazda think that too. It's an attractive product. Yep. So you only need to look at our percentage to see that we do hit the scoreboard. So I mean that's really exciting because it means that the AFL are buying into what we're doing as a footy club.
Brad, I'm sure you don't play the style you play to win, not just to entertain fans, but do you think that's an endorsement of the way you play, and perhaps the league sees you as an up-and-coming side for next season?
Yeah, look, I think we play football, the way we believe the game plan is going to stand up in high-pressure games, and while that certainly wasn't the case in 2013, we played an up-tempo brand of football because we've got a young list, and we want to condition them to really taxing football, because that's what it's going to be when we play the best sides in September. So, I think that we've certainly got to tighten up areas of our game, and but in regards to the fixture, when we had poor fixtures back in 2009, 10, 11, that was a reflection coming from the AFL as to where we sat in the competition. But we were assured that once we pushed up and we started playing really competitive footy and really good footy, that we'd be rewarded with a better fixture. And that's certainly been the case commercially. Last year it was an extremely challenging fixture from a football perspective, but we welcomed that, and I think we were competitive in every game we played. So this year's fixture gives us a great opportunity to play in some big games and some great time slots, and that further exposes our players to what we want, and that's high pressure situations where the stakes are high.
And Brad, the difficulty of fixture playing just seems to make it a bit easier than last season. How much that sort of helping things get to the final?
Yeah, in terms of comparison to last year, any fixture would be easier than last year. So when I was asked my opinion as to preferences for the fixture, I just said a different one to 2013 would be good. And look, but I mean, we've got to play everyone. Who we play twice is obviously a factor. We travel 8 times. We've got, I think 7 6-day breaks. So there are certainly challenges in this year's fixture as well. And the reality is no one knows who's going to jump up the ladder. Your fixture on paper is one thing, but Port Adelaide showed last year that sides that potentially finished low on the ladder the previous year, can jump up the next year. So we think the fixture gives us a great opportunity to play some good footy in good time slots, but the rest is really up to us now. We've got to put into action all the things that we've planned for, and use our great staff that we've been able to acquire, and get our playing list up and going.
Can you feel a sense of expectation around you guys next year? I mean, from outside it feels like that came so close in a lot of games. Can you sense that, and what do you feel about it?
I do sense it, but I welcome it. I think that it's fantastic people are talking about the North Melbourne Football Club. That with that comes a sense of expectation, but I feel expectation every year, because I set extremely high expectations for our players and for our team. So the fact that other people share those expectations is fantastic. But I'm sure there'll be media talking about the 14 teams that all should make the 8, and the 8 teams that all should make the top 4. That's the reality at this time of year. Everyone's expected to improve, and I don't think there are too many teams saying they're not going to play finals. So we've just got to go about our business. We've done that the last couple of years. We've had a great off season in terms of our on and off field acquisitions, but the hard work's really only just beginning now.
And James, you've been banging on the door for Good Friday footy for a while. Gillan today said it's 50-50 for 2015, so that almost green lights it.
That means it'll happen, and North Melbourne will definitely play in it. Rob? Not that I've had that guaranteed by anyone at the AFL, but I'm just telling you now.
You've won the war.
No. And again, no one knows more than Walshy about the history of North Melbourne and Good Friday. I think Walshy was back in the early 90s. Mark Dawson and Andrew Carter and the great Doc Aylett originally, started bashing the then administration's door down about it. So we've just sort of kept carrying the torch. I think we went 3 years ago to the AFL with Greg Swan and Stephen Kernahan with what we thought was a compelling idea around Good Friday, because obviously Carlton and North are right next to the Children's Hospital. So the idea was to play a twilight game on Good Friday, and then the winning coach and captain, which hopefully will be Andrew Swallow and Brad Scott, then go into the telethon that night and hand over $100,000, which I think would be a wonderful gesture to the kids' hospital. So I thought that was a really good idea 3 or 4 years ago. I still think it's a really good idea now. And I think 2 inner city Melbourne clubs, on this amazing day would make a lot of sense. So hopefully the AFL will think the same way.
Do you think you have a right to the Good Friday fixture when it does eventually come up as a football club? Because there's going to be a lot of teams wanting it.
Yeah, there are, but I think you've got to, if you actually came up with the idea and have done an enormous amount of work on it, it's got to place you somewhere near the head of the queue. And as I say, I don't take any credit for that, because that was people well before my time who had the vision and the innovation to see that this would be a good thing to do. As I say, no greater figure at our footy club than Doc Aylett. So, out of great respect to Doc and those people who put the idea together first, we've just kept pushing because we think it'd be a really good thing to do. And, as Scotty said, I mean, we'll be up and about by then. The Blues are a massive club, so I think that game at Etihad, Twilight Good Friday, you'd get 45 to 50,000 people and a huge TV audience, and be a really compelling product.
Geoff, Gillen this morning's also said that the All-Star game won't go ahead without full industry support. Do you have any opinion on the merits of the All-Star game? We'll just slide those mics up first.
Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think the difficulties with it will be the obvious ones, that the clubs will be, they'll have a lot of trepidation about the health and safety and the welfare of their players. We all think the worst of those sorts of things, or the worst possible scenarios. Allegedly or apparently the players support it, so they'll carry a significant voice. But the issue will be if Gillen's, and I haven't heard that, but if Gillen's saying that it needs 100% industry support, that's where it may struggle.
So the position from North Melbourne would probably be that it's a no vote if it...
Well, we haven't discussed that either at footy level or board level or anywhere else, but if it looks like it's something more than being penciled in, I'm sure that the club will form a consensus on that.
Geoff, you know how you just mentioned it supposedly has the players' support. You obviously talk, and Ray, you do as well, talk to a lot of players. Does it actually have the players' support as far as you're aware? I mean, you mustn't talk about it.
Oh, it's got Scotty Pendlebury's support. He pushes for it every year, but he's a massive basketball fan, so he probably likes the All-Star concept. I mean, the reality is, from clubs, from my perspective, and it's not necessarily North Melbourne's view, but my perspective is that I'm happy for players to play, and as long as they don't get injured. But I mean, how can we, if they get injured in one of our practice games, they're under our control. I think that's the great fear, that you're releasing your players to go off and play in a different concept where they're exposed for various reasons under a different regime. So, I almost had a heart attack on Sunday morning when Lindsay Thomas was looking like being cited for a high tackle, and to lose Lindsay in a home and away game because of something that happened in the international rules would be disastrous for North Melbourne. So there are all these sorts of things that concern clubs when we release our players who we look after and we take care of in every aspect. So that's our great concern.
Geoff, you've come back to a vastly different North Melbourne. You're missing your old digs when you were here?
No, not missing the whole digs at all, but you're right, it's a significantly different club, and I think that's one of the things that excites me, in that from personnel point of view, I think there's 4 people in the football department who are there that were there previously in my 7 years ago. There's no one in admin, and I think I'm right in saying there's no one on the board who was there then. So it's exciting for me in that regard, that I'm not, in a lot of ways there's a bit of romanticism attached for me, coming back to a club that I spent a lot of time at. But it's also exciting because it's a totally new place. The facilities, as you said, they're light years away. They're not even worth the comparison in terms of the difference. All that side of it is exciting for me, because there's a lot of new stuff about the club.
So why did you come back to North? I imagine that you would have had a few options.
Yeah, look, a number of reasons, I suppose, but ultimately, some of the relationships I have with people at the club, no less than Brad. There is a bit of romanticism for me. I'm not saying for the club, but for me, that I spent 12 years at North, and it was in a successful time largely, but we also had some really struggling times, and I enjoyed my time immensely there. I look at the club, and in my opinion, and it's a footy opinion, that the club is in an upward direction as far as the team's on-field capacity goes. And the 7 years I've been away, it's such a credit to the people who are off-field, the board, James, Carl, and people who have gone before them in the time that I've been away, that one of the things that really imprints on my mind is that no longer do I hear the talk about poor old North, or North are in a category where X, Y and Z club are going to be struggling, or they should relocate, or they should merge. Or now that's a great credit to, as I say, to the people who have been involved since my last stint there. Because as CEO the last time around, I struggled with that. I couldn't make much of an impression on that. So that also is something that imprinted on my decision making to say, yeah, this club's going forward in a hell of a lot of ways.
Can I just ask you about Utah and how many, obviously Andrew swallowed, but just players who won't be able to compete or complete the whole section?
Magic Dawes the only other one who won't be basically in full training. I mean, we're not in full contact at this stage of the year as it is. A few minor operations, but I'd say 43 of the 45 players on the list should be able to complete most of the training, and I include the draftees in that because our draftees, once drafted, will come over to Utah as well. So we've largely got a pretty healthy list at the moment. Even Andrew's making great progress, and he'll be able to. Utah will be the best place for him to be to rehab his Achilles, and he'll do a lot of hiking and walking, which is part of his rehab anyway. So there's no better place to do that than Utah. So we're pretty confident in the health of our list at the moment, but the hard work's about to start, and we're certainly going to have a combative, aggressive, taxing pre-season. So the players are relishing that opportunity, and hopefully come round one we've got similar list availability.
What's the program for Andrew? Is he hoping to get him up and running before Christmas or anything like that?
It's got a very, very detailed, graduated program that we anticipate. We'd like to have him certainly available for the second half of next year. Now it depends who you talk to. If you talk to me, I'm planning for the second half of the year. If you talk to our medicos, they're talking about the first half of the year somewhere, and if you talk to Andrew, it's round one. So we'll hopefully he's right and I'm wrong, but we'll take it step by step and take a really graduated scientific approach and get him ready when he's ready. But we certainly won't be playing before he's ready.
Would Majak be a round one target with his coming back from the PCL?
Touch and go, I'd say. But look, the great thing about Majak's rehab is that he's going to be running, doing repetitive sprint work in Utah. So a lot of the work we need to do with Majak is around education and some coaching around specific tactics and game sense training. So we're going to be able to do that. So we're still going to be able to get a lot of work and a lot of the stuff we wanted to do with Majak that we haven't been able to do the last couple of years because he's been incapacitated. So whether he's right to go round one or not, it'll be touch and go. But when he does come back into our senior side, he'll be ready.
Brad, just with all the things we've talked about here today, how much confidence, I guess, does that give you going into the next campaign?
Well, I mean, I think that all you can do as a coach, administrator, or board member is prepare yourself as best you can. Now, we've had challenges in that area in the past because we've been probably not as well resourced as other clubs, but there's certainly not that complaint anymore. I mean, we as coaches have everything we could ask for. The players have got everything they could ask for, and now it's up to us. So we relish that opportunity, and it's now a case of. I think it's fantastic for the club that people are talking about us, that we've got a great media contingent here today. There's excitement building around our club. There's no reason why we shouldn't have over 40,000 members next year. North Melbourne supporters should get on board and join up as members because it is going to be exciting. But there's going to come a point where I'm going to stop talking about that because our actions are going to have to do the talking after that.
JB, can I just ask one for our Tasmanian friends about Hobart? Excuse me. Just your reaction to the games there. St Kilda and Adelaide. I mean, last year you had the reigning premiers Sydney down.
Yep.
Is it a slightly weaker combination, do you think?
No, I don't think so. One of the things that we've had regularly thrown at us from our family, as we call them down in southern Tasmania, is that they want to see a Melbourne club come down there. And that's obviously going to be great with the Saints. So I think that's a really good result. And Adelaide, talk about us, we think playing a up tempo and great to watch brand of footy. I mean, Adelaide fit perfectly into that category. I mean, I only need to remember the game we played against them last year. I mean, we always play unbelievable footy against Adelaide. So, it's just so I think they're a great team to watch. If I was a family member down in Hobart, I'd be really pleased with those two games. I reckon they'll be crackers.
I guess the Saints have got the Bulldog.
Stewart. Yeah, and played a lot of footy down there in the north, obviously, one of the pioneers of AFL footy in Tassie, so huge supporter base down there. So I think they're a really good mixture of games. In fact, when I saw our fixture, that was one of the most pleasing things about it for me, was that A, Melbourne team go down there, and B, that it is St Kilda who have got that history. Richmond probably the other club that have got deep-seated history, so we love the Tigers down there at some stage as well. But, the Simon Leflin, who runs the draw, is obviously a great friend of ours, and it is the toughest job in the world, putting the AFL draw together. So we grizzle and moan. I do more than anyone. But at the end of the day, we have great respect for how hard it is. So, you get probably a tenth of what you ask for, but we're no different to anyone else. So, and, as a club, as Scotty said, we've got to end up good enough to, the draw doesn't matter. We'll play whoever it is, wherever it is, and be good enough to win. So we think we're pretty close to, having that attitude and not worrying about where and when, and, So, but from Tassie's point of view, I think those two games will be great.